followed by standards. It's very important to create technology and market infrastructure that is standardized because it makes it easier for institutions to adopt and change as they need. Integrating something into core banking is a very complicated process. They don't want to do that every few years. And then finally, it's a novel technology. So implementing that in a way where it benefits their business models, but also benefits how they use the technology to make it better, quicker, cheaper, as Victoria was saying. So for us, it's really implementing that foundational layer correctly at the beginning. And what we're seeing with the work that we've done with central banks and now the work with commercial banks is they're all working together. I don't know a central bank or a commercial bank that is not exploring, piloting, or implementing DLT in the world.
Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. With that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about QUANT Network in this one, okay, you guys? Listen, we have had so many huge things happen in the past, I don't want to say what month. It's been insane. But now we have the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, joining the party of crypto. Okay, you guys, follow me on this. We have a huge panel that took place. It was there was the head of the IMF. It was a player from the World Bank. It was a player from I think it was the Bank of Singapore. It was Circle CEO. And you guys, this transition is full steam ahead. This transition is no longer theory. It's no longer hype. This is something that is truly happening right now. And you have the largest players in the world that sit over the largest entities in the world now saying it out loud. Okay, you guys, follow me on this. So in this very first video, we have some clips coming from the head of the IMF. Truly understand when these world leaders speak, listen to the words that are coming out of their mouths because they are directly telling you what is going to be bestowed upon your future. Truly see what's going to happen when this new financial system shifts and the digitization of all of this is a reality in our everyday lives moving forward for the next foreseeable decades. Okay, you guys? So here we go. First part of this interview or this panel, but more importantly, we're coming from the head of the IMF, okay? Listen to the words coming out of her mouth, and I will be right back.
The future of finance, for sure, is digital. We know that digitalization is moving very rapidly. We know from history that finance is very quick to take advantage of technology. Remember the telegraph? Telegraph comes, it impacts finance. Internet, it impacts finance. Now we have a technology, the technology that makes it possible to get blockchain to underpin finance. And I am convinced that we would see a bigger role in the future. We now see much more attention to regulating stablecoins, regulating this world. Now, we have to recognize we are in early days. We have the Genius Act here in the United States. The Europeans have their own approach to regulation. You have in Singapore, you have done your part. There is a lot of catch-up to be done because these different regulatory frameworks don't yet quite gel, so there is a real risk of fragmentation. But the trajectory is one towards digitalization of the world of money and the clear separation between those assets that are backed, stablecoins, and those that are not. And within the universe of stablecoins, can I say that some stablecoins are more stable than others? And we have seen this last week. I think we will be, we all as international community, we are interested to see stability, regulatory environment that is fit for the future and one that delivers advantages to whom? To people, to households, to businesses, to decision makers. So, yes, we are moving,
but there's work.
There are risks, and I'm here at the IMF, we are paid to worry about risks. So let me finish with this. The biggest risk I see is actually risk of fragmentation and confusion for the consumer side. And that if we are at the front, if we are to be obsessed with one thing, it is how to minimize this particular risk.
Okay.
Now you guys just heard everything she just said. Truly understand that these financial institutions have been quietly, methodically working in the background. Some are further along their roadmap than others, but the roadmap is being deployed, you guys. And we're literally at the point of you're either going to act or you're going to be left behind. Like truly see where we are in the realm and the adoption curve of Web3 processes, and truly see that you have players like a QNT, a hbar, XRP or XLM, or XDC, IOTA. You have players truly building out banking and financial rail infrastructure for these things to be a reality. Okay, you guys, in this next video, it was from my boy Gilbert Verdian, the CEO of QUANT Network. He had a recent interview with LACnet. Now, I've already brought you a part of that video when he's talking about standards, but now this part is directly talking about the banking structure and the onboarding of that banking structure and where they sit now and how they've been working on this for 5 years. And that's just the banking structure part. Think about it. Overledger goes back almost 10 years. Truly see where we sit right now when you have these players that have been working methodically in the background, now having all of that work on a front global stage, okay? Here we go, my boy Gilbert Verdian, the CEO of QUANT Network, and I will be right back.
5 years ago, we first started, and we did a lot of work to prove the infrastructure is fit for purpose, it's capable for transacting value, it's capable for institution-grade adoption, and the work that we did was around netting, settlement between banks and doing that on blockchain as a potential stablecoin. So, we've done a lot of work in that space since 5 years ago, and what we're seeing is that experimentation phase of blockchain has stopped from banks, from institutions, from central banks. They've been experimenting. They understand the capability. They know what use cases are possible, but they also understand the value of blockchain, because what they're implementing is a new infrastructure, and this doesn't happen often. I mean, it's not often you create a whole bank and a financial system and a payment infrastructure. It only happens every 30 years. So what we're seeing is they see an opportunity to implement DLT, to implement blockchain for the transformation of financial services, the transformation of finance, of money, of value. And using that infrastructure, they've understood that it lowers cost, firstly, because running all of these things on your side, so bank side or institution side, takes a lot of money and effort. I mean,
now, you guys just heard everything that Gilbert had to say. Truly see what's happening right now. Truly understand that this is a plan. This is something that they have been working on. Literally. Think about even in your everyday lives, think about your jobs and understand that how things get implemented. Nothing just happens overnight. Nothing is just boom and it's done. No, there's processes that take place. There's meetings that take place, and then they have test markets. And if those test markets are successful, then they go into a wider deployment of whatever the either product or new rules or guidelines is. After the test market and that wider deployment is mass adoption. Truly see that we've already had our test markets. They're at the point now with things like those tokenized deposits in the UK. That's not the test market. That right there is that wider deployment understand that after that 6-month window of that wider deployment, we're talking about full-on integration. We're talking about full-on adoption. Truly see what's happening right now. And you have a player like the IMF literally telling people it's the worst thing you can do right now is bury your head in the sand or close your eyes and act like it's not happening, because it will eclipse you. You will probably no longer exist as on the monetary rails, and you will be using someone else's currency in your everyday processes if you don't get on board and start the digitization and the tokenization of the processes in your country. Truly see what's happening right now, okay, you guys? But I have some more saying basically just that from the head of the IMF. This is her call or action. This is her warning shot to people, telling them it's time. Okay, you guys? I will be right back.
Actually, our most important job is to clearly define what is what and why, and then work with our members so they can see themselves in this rapidly changing environment. First, recognize that we need to differentiate between the underlying technology and the functionality of this technology. So we have a distributed ledger technology, we have blockchain. Blockchain can be used for all kinds of things. Blockchain can be used to get other assets, to get securities, to get other things on the blockchain. So not necessarily blockchain equals crypto money. And yet, many people confuse these two things, and we actually have to help countries to see through the possibility of moving towards tokenization of other things. So one day, money, let's call it money, and assets may be moving on the same blockchain. How do we cope with this? Second, it is very important to differentiate. There is digitalization going on in fiat money, and it is very good and very powerful. Then there is unbacked crypto, most famous, of course, in the unbacked crypto is Bitcoin. And then there is stablecoin with different degree of stability. And on top of it, we have CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. I saw actually, and I'm sorry, I should have waved immediately, Madam Digital Euro, Christine Lagarde, moved in this corridor. The debate around CBDCs from countries that say absolutely not, never, to countries that say, hey, that's a useful thing to have. So we have multiple developments that complement, but sometimes possibly contradict each other. And the third issue for our membership is to anticipate the impacts of developments elsewhere. Paralysis because of currency substitution. Countries accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto, both unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. But do not close your eyes to reality.
Now y'all just heard her. So blunt and so direct. Don't bury your head in the sand. It's time to act. And now couple that in your mind with what you already know about things that what did Quant just release? QUANT Net, you guys. Truly see that this is a part of the plan. Truly understand that every pain point that they faced What Quant did with things like ISO TC 307 was pull the world together. What is your problems with blockchain? Okay, now let's actively work on a solution. This is the reason why they literally call their products the solution. Truly see what's happening right now, okay, you guys? But we're gonna dive a little bit into QuantNet so you can just pair everything you just heard in this video and then pair it in your mind now with what QuantNet actually does. It is the onboarding so that you can have that rollout so that you can have mass adoption. Understand what's being laid out right in front of our faces, you guys. Here we go. A little bit about QuantNet come from my boy NCASH Official. Bro, you rock, and I will be right back.
QuantNet. This is a big one. We are proud to announce the launch of QuantNet, the world's first programmable infrastructure and network that fundamentally transforms how banks connect to tokenized money and digital assets. Financial institutions worldwide can now participate in tokenized money and digital asset markets while preserving everything that makes them trusted: compliance, security, and operational excellence. Banks no longer need to choose between innovation and stability. QuantNet provides both a production-ready platform that connects the future of money and markets while working seamlessly with existing infrastructure investments. And again, we have a few images here. Programmable orchestration automates the complete lifecycle of tokenized assets and payments. Inter-network connectivity connects diverse tokenized cash networks while maintaining compatibility with legacy settlement workflows via RTGS, CREST, and T2S. Bring your own liquidity. QuantNet manages the movement orchestration but never holds the funds, preserving existing custody arrangements and regulatory compliance structures. This is, of course, the world's first programmable settlement network revolutionizing banking infrastructure. Like I've said, this is all core institutional grade infrastructure that they have been building to connect to all of these networks in this space. If you are, a big fan of a DLT network like Hedera, XRP, it does not matter. Any of those platforms can be connected into this. All of the public DLTs, everything, all connected. They even say here that asset platform connectivity link private asset networks like HSBC Orion, trading venues, Euroclear DFMI, and public DLTs like Ethereum, while maintaining institutional grade security and compliance controls. All of this is exactly how we get to institutional grade adoption at scale, retail adoption at scale, everything that we have been talking about forever. This is how it becomes a reality. And we have here the transformation path is clear. Deploy. Banks issue tokenized deposits through their existing infrastructure, maintaining complete control with their established operational frameworks. Connect. QuantNet seamlessly orchestrates between wallets, asset platforms, and settlement systems, creating unified programmable value movement across previously isolated networks. And then scale. Pilot environments instantly promote to production without costly rework, enabling efficient scaling of digital asset operations. This creates immediate impact.
Y'all truly see what's happening right now. Understand what Quant Network is, and understand if you're holding QNT in 2025 that you are a part of a new class of assets, because the value that's going to be derived behind the network that connects all the other networks in the world. Truly understand and see that it's only like the only thing you could possibly even compare it to is the internet. You can't compare it to another project. You really can't compare it to Bitcoin. You can't compare it to Ethereum because it's not a blockchain. It is a blockchain operating system. And what does our internet currently run on? Operating systems. If you're watching me from an Apple, you're on the Apple's ISO or whatever their operating system is. If you're on some type of Android device, then you're on the Android operating system. But these are operating systems. Truly see what is truly being laid out and understand that Overledger, Quant Network software as a service, is more and more rapidly becoming the operating system of Web3. The thing that truly brings everything into harmonization and makes it a global interconnected reality. Okay, you guys? I truly appreciate y'all tuning in, and I appreciate y'all for tapping in. If you made it all the way through this entire video, type in IMF, because the International Monetary Fund now actively onboarding crypto and urging all of the banks that fall up under their umbrella to do so or get left behind is a major deal. And to understand that QUANT Network releasing QUANT Net gives all of them a seamless integration into the entire new system. Okay, you guys, so you made it all the way through. Type in IMF. That way I know you rocked with your boy through this entire video. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. Till the next time, y'all already know. Peace out.